Welcome back to another episode of the LeBlanc Cast. Again, it's been a long time, and
Been a minute.
hockey is now over. For now, I know it's a sad.
Single tear rolls.
I'm joined here by my co-host Luke Felsner.
What's going on, folks?
And our co-host Zach Peldenberg will not be joining us tonight. Schedules clash, shit happens, but he has contributed to this episode with. Listen, we're going to talk about the draft today. Just before we start out, shout out to the Colorado Avalanche on their Stanley Cup championship.
Yes,
well-deserved. Great finals. I think that was one of the more entertaining finals.
Yeah, it's kind of like it sucks now kind of looking at how everything with Tampa, and they played Dallas and then Montreal and being like, well, those are worse opponents. And they played Avalanche and it's like, damn, they're really good. No,
Yeah.
but I think Tampa's still a fantastic team. Obviously, it's crazy to have gotten there 3 straight years and to 1-2. But no, the Avs were sensational. I mean, to lose 4 games in the Stanley Cup Finals or Stanley Cups playoffs rather, that's insane. That's insane.
And I just want to put this out there. I was one of the people who's like, just hey, I said Colorado's not gonna get past second round, and I always eat my words. Last year I said. Every year I say something stupid. Like I said last year, Montreal's not going to get past the first round. And then
the Montreal one is really logical, though.
It is, though.
That should have never happened.
Second or third, but it is what it is. No. Anyway, I think we're going to just hop into we're draft season's here.
Yes, sir.
And it's our favorite time of year.
Yeah, we're still rebuild our teams. Shocker. I'm sure it's been going on for a while that we're, really excited for the drafts every fucking year. But here it is again, and we're still excited for it. We love draft time.
Though, even when Ottawa was a contender, I still love watching the draft. Like, I still think I always highlight on my calendar. Like, I always even when we were contending, like, in 2017, I wanted Yamamoto to fall so bad to Ottawa, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, the draft time's always fun, no matter what. I honestly don't really know that I got into the draft really until about 2018, and the Red Wings had what was Zadina, so pick 6. But drafts is always fun, no matter where you pick. Because I mean, we also, we both follow every team in the NHL at this point in time. Like we primarily follow our teams, but you follow everybody, and it's fun to do the mocks, and it's fun to do this, that, and the other thing, and be like, I want to see this guy and this guy. I want to see this guy and this team. And it's like hoping, shit happens. And it's also hoping that teams don't pick certain guys. Because, man, last year I did not want the Leafs to pick Rodon Amirov. And damn, who did they end up with?
Rodon Amirov.
Yep.
I've never had a good draft. I'm always upset. Except for even 2020, I was upset still. Sanderson.
Yeah, you had to shave your head over that one. That
man.
Good.
I always want to start, no more draft bets. But this draft could be one of the more crazy drafts because with the GMs going, it's going to be somewhere this year. We're not having this online draft where I swear rounds 2 to 7 took I think 12 hours.
Oh my God. It was so dumb. It was literally like I would be looking to go on my deathbed in round 3, still holding on. And I think by round 3, a lot of bulk of people stopped watching, but I was definitely, Jesus Christ, firework just went off. I was definitely like, all right, let's hurry it up.
I remember my brother went to work and then he came back and it was he left for round 2. He came back. It was still round 4. I'm like, he's like, how? Yeah. But we should see more movement. GMs talking to each other on the floor, no longer having to call multiple, talk to each other on the floor. It should be there's rumors about teams wanting to move up, like Montreal, and I want to put this out here. I've seen trades Josh Anderson for the 13th pick. Listen, I'm sorry. Josh Anderson is probably worth maybe a late second. I'll be generous, maybe a late second.
I think that is definitely generous. Yeah, no, there is rumors that Montreal wants to move back into the top 10, and there's also rumors that New Jersey would be willing to move from pick 2. Obviously, that's not a marriage that's going to happen, that Montreal is going to pick 1 and 2. That's going to offer a lot of fucking fireworks. That's going to require a lot of futures for Montreal to get up to move back into 2. But Montreal is definitely a team that I would watch to move back in. I definitely think they have a good chance. I don't know where they'll move because it's not I don't think either of our teams are going to end up moving our picks. I know Ottawa's also had mention of moving their pick. I don't see it happening, but what do you think?
I feel like with Fiala now been traded, the only player I would really trade my first round pick for would be DeBrincat. That's the only player I really would trade. Only reason Ottawa moves the pick is if they trade down. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
it'll be harder for them to move in. I don't think many of the top 10 teams are going to look to move back. I would maybe actually say Buffalo, if you really want to put it there, because they do still have another first round pick. They can move back, or they can just acquire a player, because I think Buffalo's actually done really good on their rebuild right now.
They can always move up with the 2 picks they have.
That is true. They could do that as well. There could be movement. There should be more room for movement this year is a key thing, I think.
Yeah. But have you seen some of the mock trades like Montreal fans have been putting up for? Like, I know they were mentioned for the 2nd overall pick. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, Jeff Petrie, Josh Anderson, Calgary's pick, and like a 4. I'm like, bro, that's gonna get you maybe like a 4th round pick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's you're dumping basically 2 cap contract players, and then yeah, you're maybe getting future considerations on a really good day. Also really funny, completely side note, completely unrelated to everything else. I learned that it was posted what future consideration means. I think it's really funny that it just means that the next time you're in that situation, the GM who gets future considerations will just buy the other GM like a dinner or a round of golf. That's all future considerations is. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Like Red Wings traded, God, what was even his name? I can picture his face. Dmitry Timashov to the Islanders for future considerations. That just means Lou Lamoriello got to get Stevie Y a round of beers. No biggie. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. So getting into this, I think we've all known the top prospects. We're gonna do a little mock draft, and we'll go into some of the prospects and what we think of them during the mock draft to see. So this is how it's gonna go. Since I am the Sens fan, I'll go first now. I am the Sens fan, and I picked 7. I'll have the odd number of picks, and since Luke is the Wings fan, they have pick number 8. He will have the even number of picks, just so that we can pick for our own teams, and we can. And I can just screw you like I wish Dorian would.
Yeah, I know you're gonna. I know you're probably looking to do it, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how much I yell at you today.
I always for mockers, I always like see the guy I want. Like, nah, I'm gonna go off the board. Right, I'm just gonna share the screen real quick. So we're doing this on NHLEntryDraft.com. Because we said, look at Cat Friendly's ranking, we're like, whoa, no thanks.
Yeah, Cat Friendly stuck in about 2019 with Brad Lambert still at 5 and Juraj Slavkovsky outside the top 10. So we hot fixed to a different site and we found a pretty good one.
Yeah. So Montreal, and by the way, there's going to be no trades because I don't know how to do that, and it'd be too complicated.
Yeah.
Montreal, there's been a lot of rumors. I've heard rumors of Wright, Slavkovsky. I even heard Nemec as a pretender for the first overall. If they go Nemec, that'd be funny. I think that'd be hilarious. But if I'm Montreal, I think you got to draft Shane Wright. And the guy I could see Shane Wright being, I think he needs a year. He missed a year of development due to COVID. So I think you send him back to the CHL for a year, let him develop. But I think he can really develop into like a great first line center. Maybe like I'm gonna say like a bootleg Patrice Bergeron. Not like as good, but not like horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think he needs a year, and that's the weird thing about this draft is a lot of people talk about how deep and how strong and how good it is, but I think a lot of these players, like there's a lot of guys that missed straight up an entire year of development. Like they just did not play a full season, and I think that hurt a lot of them. A lot of these guys have a lot higher ceilings than past drafts, players, so that helps their case. But I definitely think most of these guys need more time, especially Shane Wright. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think any OHL prospect is going to need another year of seasoning.
Absolutely.
Like I would say OHL players are like kind of like white chicken. Like it's not seasoned enough.
Yeah, that's a good reference. I like that.
Anyway, you're up with New Jersey.
New Jersey, and I think it's kind of a slam dunk for them here. You can't really go wrong. And it's a weird thing. I can't say you can't go wrong because looking rankings wise, a lot of people are going to tell you that Logan Cooley is the second best prospect in this draft. But I swear to God, if New Jersey drafts another goddamn center, I'm going to blow my brains out. Like they already have Hughes and they already have Heischer. I think they're a great 1-2 combo as far as
Mercer as well.
Yeah, Mercer too, and he's probably going to play in the wing because he has to. If you pick Logan Cooley, I don't understand what's happening. But Slavkovsky, at 2 for me. He's going to be the next great, like power forward in this draft or in this league, I think. Bearing development, but he's just a fantastic player. Obviously, we saw what he did at Worlds. He was, I think, did he get best player? Right?
Yeah, he was best player. He was like over point per game at Worlds.
Yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal, and
I hope and at the Olympics as well.
Exactly. Yeah, he carried the Olympics. He's a fantastic player. I hope he develops really well too. That's really all I hope for because I'd like to see him translate.
I want to mention this. I feel like Slavkovsky is either boom or bust. Either he's going to be amazing, or he's not going to be what we think he's going to be. Like he'll still be an NHL. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I don't think he'll be like bust, but yeah, he'll probably just be at his floor.
When I say like bust, I mean like third liner. Like I'd be like his floor. Like that's what I mean.
Right, that's fair.
And who would you compare? Who would you compare him to?
It's really hard because there's not like an over influx of like really good power forwards. Like you don't really hear of like, oh, here's a power forward, he's gonna go top 3. Like that's a little outlandish. I don't know. It's really hard, and I'm a Red Wings fan, so I think of Anthony Mantha a little bit when I watch his game. But I think he'll be better than Anthony Mantha. I think his ceiling's a lot higher than where Anthony Mantha is, and I think he's a lot more like up and down the ice, more energetic, more consistent.
I actually see a little bit of Draisaitl in his game, a little bit,
That's
not
fair.
a lot. Because like Draisaitl, I consider Draisaitl a power forward because he's a big body. And he can still score. I think that's what Slavkovsky. He's not. I don't think he'll be as good as Draisaitl, but he'll be like that's like the type of game he's going to develop under. You know what I mean?
Right.
Arizona now, number 3. I feel like is where the draft starts because Arizona. There's been rumors about Arizona going defense because if they trade Chychrun, they're having a hole at defense.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point.
But I'm sorry, but Arizona, you don't pass on Logan Cooley here.
Yep.
There's no like if Cooley's there, take him. I know the Coyotes may not take Slavkovsky because I don't know. Apparently, there's been rumors how they didn't like how he interviewed. But yeah, you take Logan Cooley and you run with it. Logan Cooley, in my opinion, is the best player in this draft. Logan Cooley reminds me of Mitch Marner.
I did a lot of scouting on Cooley. I scouted him as scouted. I'm not a scout. Don't get me wrong. None of my comparisons, none of my shit is anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm nobody. But I thought he looked a lot like Jack Hughes. I mean, he looks like an absolute offensive dynamo. Like he's like cutting to the middle, making all these moves, just flashy shit. Great shot. He's a fantastic player. It's really hard to pick. You said that you think he's the best player in the draft. I think it's really hard to pick out of these 3 who's the best player in the draft because they're all just different players. Shane Wright's game is a lot more developed around his two-way game. Like he's a lot more reliable defensively. He's a lot more of a Patrice Bergeron. He's going to be reliable everywhere. Slavkovsky, he's that dog. Like he's going to the corner. He's going to the net. He's going anywhere. Like he didn't give a fuck who you are. Cooley, he's just talent. He's just prime skill on display, and it's really hard to pick who's the number 1 for me. But I could see literally any of these guys ending up being the best.
I have a fun fact about Logan Cooley, actually.
Bring it.
He was the first player in the Pittsburgh in 2008 started a junior Pittsburgh Penguin program to like get kids into hockey. He was the first player ever in that program.
That's pretty cool.
And he did not grow up a Penguins fan in Pittsburgh. He was a Capitals fan.
That is funny. I did see he was growing up in Pittsburgh. I did not know if he was a Pittsburgh fan at all, but that is also very funny to hear that he was probably an OV guy.
What a rough childhood to be a Caps fan in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're an outlaw, especially being that they won some damn cups over there.
And they beat you to Caps to do them. It's like,
yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, but no, funny. I think that's really cool that the hockey from that like wasn't first year, and then the first guy there, top
that
5
is really cool.
NHL. That's really cool. All right, you're up, sir, with Seattle. I feel like I'm trying to. I feel like it's really hard when you do mocks and you try not to like think too hard about it. And I think Seattle should be the same way here, not think too hard about it. I think it's Simon Nemec for me at least here. Really good defenseman, pretty much to me the best defenseman in the draft. I like Juracek a lot, but I don't think he's going to be Nemec. I don't think he's going to be like Nemec. Very good defender. He's smooth skating. He's very good if you watch his game on making
room for his teammates. And I watch, obviously I'm a Red Wings fan. I watch a lot of Seider this year, and I'm not comparing them by any standard. But Seider's really good at pretty much baiting people in, right? So like he'll have one forechecker on him, then he makes a move past that guy. So then the guy in the middle kind of draws to him, right? And that's when Seider can outlet perfectly to the next guy. And Nemec's also very good at that, to kind of like bait, and he'll use his edges, he'll use his footwork, he'll use his body to move and almost put himself in like a vulnerable position. So the next attacker comes on, he's like, oh, I've got this shit. Like, we'll get an easy steal and just outlet it out. Good. 3-on-2 right from there. Like, fantastic work by him on those shifts that I've seen at least. And I think that's Seattle's pick. Obviously, just went Beniers last year. If Seattle picked top 3, I think they go one of the forwards, but they're at 4. Forwards are going to be gone. I don't think you're going to reach per se on one of the next guys. So I think Simon Nemec is the pick here.
Nemec, in my opinion, is best. He's the best right-handed defenseman in the draft. So him and Yurchik are close, but I would take Nemec. Just like clean edges when I see him play. Like he's a guy I really want Ottawa to take if he's there, but he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Nemec was Nemec. He's going to be a really good NHL player. Like he might be there sooner than later. I think he stays over for like a year, but he's not a long-term project. He's going to be over like in the next 2 years, I believe. Yeah,
that's kind of the strength to some of these European guys, right? Is like they might end up being at the same timeline as one of the guys that are drafted higher. A lot of other drafts, you'll see the European guys take longer because their development's a little bit different. And a OHL guy might make a jump in a year. And logically, most first overall picks come right over us, with the exception of Owen Power last year. But I think they'll end up being just completely same timelines for a lot of these guys. And that'll be a big help to Nemec's stock and who he can develop to be.
Yeah. Next up, we have Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like they're such a wild card because they can go D, they can go forward. They need everything. Like, oh man, like
you doing this is really impactful to my next pick because I'm so in between on these two teams. You say 3 is where the draft opens up. I almost think it's here because I think Philly's always been a wild card team.
Yeah, I think Philly. I'm gonna have them take Frank Nazar.
Interesting pick.
Think about it, like Philly. Like you think of Philly forwards. Like now that Giroux's gone, they have Couturier and Konecny, and they have no one else really like an impactful forward who could score, and that's what they really could use in the system. Frank Nazar, spending year up. He's going to Michigan.
Yeah, Frank Nazar. Sorry, I hate to be
Nazar. Sorry,
no, you're good. You're good. I hate to be OCD on that. Yeah, he is committed to Michigan. That's an interesting pick, and I was actually like just thinking about that because in a lot of my earlier stuff, I had Juracek going at 5 because I thought Philly would want to go to a D-man, especially with the rumors that they might want to move Sanheim and stuff like that. So the D-course already sitting. But yeah, you make a great mention of it. Drew is gone. I don't think he's going to come back. He probably shouldn't come back also. Yeah. And Nazar does make a lot of sense there. I have the upper hand of having a lot higher of the scouting report on Frankie Nazar because my dad coached him. Nazar's awesome. My dad personally, he's a little biased, but he thinks Nazar is better than Cooley. And he actually just had them out for a skate this morning. So he likes Nazar a lot more. Nazar is like one of the guys with like the relentless motors. He's very good. He's very dependable. He's like, do you see the shit that McKinnon just like the quotes on McKinnon like that just came out about him being like ruthless, like him being like just a complete perfectionist? That's kind of Nazar too. It's like he wants to do stuff a certain way. Like if he messes up a drill in practice, he's gonna like be like, no, give me another try at that. Like I want to get that right. I want to do that right. I want to learn that right. So he's very good. And that's just to his character, but otherwise he's a very shifty forward. He's very good. He can shoot, he can pass, he can do basically he's the whole 10 bells. He's a great player. And I like that pick for Philly, truly.
So I know me, I'm gonna come up with like a big board for the Sens tomorrow on my TikTok. But Nazar is my number 1 on my board because you look at how Ottawa drafts, they really value character over everything. Like you can be like the best player in the draft, but if you're like have no character, they're not gonna take you.
Yeah.
And Nazar's big. Yeah. Character can score, playmaking is good. he's sound defensively. He's not like an elite defender, but he's not like bad in his own zone.
No, definitely. He's not necessarily a 200-foot player, but he's no slouch. He's definitely not.
Yeah, like I just thought about like Philly. Like that's why I had a guy going like, no, I think Philly could use Nazar. I think it'd be. I think it fits too.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that. He's kind of like the hard nosed guy, like the almost blue collar to a degree, not blue collar because he plays fucking professional hockey. But no, you're definitely right. I like that. That's a good pick.
All right, and now we have Columbus's first of 2 picks.
Columbus is first, and listen, I got a Columbus hat on right now. This was completely unintentional. This is just the hat I picked out to wear today, but we'll never give Jarmo Kekalainen enough credit. Columbus's pick here, kind of weird, but I'm gonna go Juracek. I don't know that it's weird, but I'm gonna go Juracek for sure. Juracek feels like, from what I've seen, he looks like he is what people thought Seth Jones was going to be. And I think if Columbus, if you can get a replacement Seth Jones and possibly somebody who's better, that's great. He's very fun to watch in his own end, is what I wrote down. He's very like, someone's on him, like you don't really got a chance. Like he's like, so I watched a clip of a forward bringing it around, the what do I call it? Bring around the outside, and he's going behind the net, and Juracek's just every step of the way. Just you're not going nowhere. Like you're not cutting in, you're not making a move, you're not passing. Like you got absolutely nothing. Let's see, what else do I have on him? Juracek. Yeah, he's also not the fastest guy, and that's completely fine. He's a D-man. If he gets moving, he gets moving. He's good at jumping up on the rush, but he's like, it's what I call dependable, right? Like you think of Seth Jones and like the early, talks to Seth Jones is like he's like the big minute cruncher guy. Like he eats up minutes. He's dependable. He's not going to fuck you in your own end. He's not going to, do this at the other end. He ended up doing both of those things. But if you can have him be a better Seth Jones, more reliable Seth Jones, I think that's a great pick for Columbus.
The funny thing is, you mentioned Seth Jones. This is actually Chicago's pick.
Aha! That's funny.
Yeah. The only red flag I have with Juracek is that he's a little injury prone. You saw him get hurt at the World.
Yeah, he did. That is one mention that his stock could drop a little bit because of his knee injury. But I think the raw talent there is what should still have him go high.
And now we're at the pick of the hour. Ugh. Now, Ottawa loves to do this great thing where they go off the board, like last year and the year before that and the year before. What,
Tyler Boucher was off the board? You mean somebody had him in the first round?
Per the other reports, the Rangers had him, but we're not going to get into
that. That's a tale for another time.
I'm not going to relive my nightmare. Now, I'm going to pick who I would pick because, because I got information this morning that Ottawa really likes the Savoy, Geeky, and Lekkerimäki. Those are the 3 guys they would say would be the potential to get. But Cutter Gauthier is just such a Sens pick. He's big. He's big. He can score. He lacks consistency, but that could be fixed with development. I'm taking Cutter Gauthier here because it's such as if he's there, Dorian's not passing on him.
That's fair. Yeah, he's good. He feels like to me everything that the Sens wanted Logan Brown to be.
Yes.
He's that big forward that you really want to like be in the shit. He's a really phenomenal playmaker. He's slow, which is also something that can be worked on through, improving his stride, improving all that stuff. But he's a really good worker. He's really relentless, and he is a fantastic playmaker. Like probably one of the better ones in the draft.
Though, like other player, I'm going to talk here. Other players I could see at this spot for Ottawa. Like I said, Savoy, Lekkerimäki. If they take Geeky here, I think the entire fan base is gonna riot. Kamel's another guy I could see here, or they can go really off the board and take a guy like Philip Mazar. Apparently, has been reported there as well, even though that'd be a huge reach.
That is a giant reach. Another guy I would actually watch out for. I don't know that there's been much actual rumors on it, but Marco Kasper is a guy that a lot of people have higher in their boards than some people have him higher, some people have him a lot lower. It's always really hard to judge with SHL guys, right? Like Europeans or Russians overall, like it's really hard to judge, what their stats are going to be in NA ice. But I think he's a guy that could go high. I think you've watched it work out a few times now for Detroit. Edvinson's coming over. Raymond was great. Sider had a great year on Rogel, coincidentally. And I think it's a recipe that some teams should look into. And granted, it hasn't worked out entirely for Detroit yet, but it's something there. To 8, Detroit Red Wings, the other pick of the hour.
Before you get to that, I just want to mention the comparison for Gauthier will be Chris Kreider. I just want to put that out there before you get to your pick.
Also, I do want to make notice for anybody that's listening to this and here's a comparison, and it's like, fucking Chris Kreider. A, Chris Kreider just got 50, so you should be really happy with Chris Kreider. Yeah. B, they're not necessarily saying that, like, there was some people that I was looking at, and it's really hard when you look at comparisons, because they're not saying that their ceiling is to be how good that player was. It's just their play style. Like, there was one guy, I think it's actually kind of geeky that you just mentioned. They compared him to Brian Boyle. And when I was originally looking at
Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson. No. I saw a different one that I think was actually Brock Boyle.
Oh, okay.
Boyle. Brian Boyle, because he's big and he's just like, he's slow, but he's good. He's smart. And I was like, man, that hurts to hear that comparison for somebody. But it's none of comparisons necessarily are a mock of their skill, right? They're just a mock of like who they play like, what their attributes are type stuff. So just keep that in consideration. Detroit 8. I personally, if he's still on the board, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm going Matthew Savoie. There's a lot of guys that Detroit has been, I don't want to say rumored, but linked to. Marco Kasper, as I just mentioned, is one. Detroit's been feeding off SHL guys right now. SHL, European overall. He could be a guy to go there, but I don't think I think he's a little too raw for Detroit. I think they're kind of looking to not necessarily accelerate their rebuild, but you have a lot of pieces already coming over. So I think Savoie is a lot closer, and I think you want him. I love Savoie. I've watched him a ton. I think he's going to be one of the better, smaller forwards in the league. I have him compared to Braden Point because I think he's like the guy that's like, he's small, but he doesn't give a shit. He'll go into corners. He'll be in front of the net. He's looking for the bumper pass. He's looking to cut in. He doesn't care.
I have Savoie's, it's pronounced Savoie. I was corrected that multiple times.
Savoie?
It's Savoie.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not he's from the W. He's not from the Q. So.
Right. Savoie.
I haven't compared to Matt Barzal.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So
I don't think he's that fast, but yeah.
Savoie's gonna be like your undersized center who can score. He could do it all. I'm surprised he's like, in recent mocks I've seen him dropping, but I can easily see him going above Ottawa and Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. He is another guy that, like, when you looked at this draft a few years back, and I said this to James before we actually started recording, and it's really funny to look back and be like, earlier on you thought this was the three-headed monster of Wright, Savoie, and Lambert. It's really funny to see how much that's changed, but I think all three of those guys and I can't really say all three of those guys because obviously Wright's still pegged to go 1 or 2, but I think both Lambert and Savoie, as much as they're possibly dropping, I still think they should go high, and I think they have a lot of potential to be still the 2 and 3 guys in this draft.
Okay.
That's what I got.
I see a Buffalo, and Buffalo is like, they have 2 picks there's 2 or 3 picks in the first round.
I want to say it's 2 because obviously I know they have Vegas. No, they have 3 because they do have Florida's at 28.
So I think Buffalo will trade one of those picks. Like, I'm not doing trades in this one, so we're not gonna worry about that. Buffalo just picked Owen Power. I think they need a forward, but I think I'm gonna save that for the later pick. I'm gonna take Pavel Mintyukov. I think Buffalo building a nice decor with Dahlin, Power, and then you take a Mintyukov who's left shot as like your second pairing, and he's sneaky good. Like, I think he's being really overlooked, and he's gonna be the surprise in the draft.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find where my comparison for Mitrovic is. Let me just make sure I have the right guy because I'm not very organized. I won't lie to anybody here. But no, I like him a lot. He's very steady. He looks like he's almost like veteran like a lot of times. Like
Mhm.
he's like a lot of times in his own zone. One of my favorite things that he does is a lot of guys, and I don't want to say the NHL, but a lot of young guys, when they have an oncoming attacker, their first option is just to bang it out the boys, bang it to center ice, bang it to somewhere, get it out of the way. But he's very good on pivoting out of the way and creating time and space. He'll be at like his blue line and like an attacker coming on. It's very basic, but a lot of guys will outlet that, and that could be an easy neutral zone turnover coming back your way right away. He's very good on just, you've got time. There's nobody behind you, right? Who cares about who's coming forward? He's not coming for a full on, I'm going to slam you and I'm going to take the puck. Just take your time. He turns back, he goes, he looks for his options because he's got a full regroup at that point. He can outlet his D-man, he can look for a change. It's really good on that sense.
Yeah, I find I think he has really good defense. Like defensively, he's very sound. Like I wouldn't. It's almost like I mean, defenders defend. That's their job. But
Right.
like he's really sound. Like he has great defense. I wouldn't call them like elite, but they're up there. They're really good defensive skills. And he for the offense, like he can't. He's not a QB for like you won't see him like on a power play QB, but you'll see him like he's a great puck distributor though.
Right. I agree with that.
And you think about Buffalo, what they have coming up, you need a guy who can distribute the puck well. I know you already have Power and Darlene, but you can never have too many good defensemen.
Yeah, I agree. I was really like, another guy would also actually look out for this pick. I've made mention of him like fucking 4 times at this point now, but I wouldn't be shocked to also see Buffalo take Casper. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they have a center in the organization really at this point?
Jack Quinn, it can be a center, but I don't think he'll be a center. Like
Yeah, because I'm like, sorry, go ahead.
He was drafted as a center, but I don't think he's going to be that center.
Right. Yeah, I think he's more of a winger.
He plays more well on the wing.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking they might go center, and I was just as you were about to like say your pick, I was like, man, maybe a D-man here is the most viable option because you can pick another center a little bit later. You could get a Rutger McGordy a little bit later. I'm sure he's going to drop at this point. And I was like also looking at Kamel and Mock, and it was like they're not taking a sniper. They already have Quinn. They don't really need him.
Next up, we have the Anaheim Ducks.
Anaheim Ducks, they're in a good spot, obviously, with the emergence of Trevor Zegras. Obviously, phenomenal player. Can't give him enough praise. I really like either Maki or Kamel here because I think they want to take that sniper next. At least if I'm Anaheim, I don't know shit. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna go Kamel. I think here. I think he's got the higher ceiling than Maki. Kamel's a hard player to judge because I said to James earlier, as I view him as almost like a smaller line A. And he's a guy that likes to shoot from the perimeter. He likes the power play a lot. He feeds off that. He feeds off the one-timer. But being a perimeter shooter is really hard nowadays. Zadina was really prided around being a perimeter shooter when he came into the NHL, but very hard to do. And obviously it has not worked out for Zadina. It's not. There's only really 2-3 players that are perimeter shooters that are really good at it, which is Stamkos, Ovechkin, and Laine when he's being good. It could work out for Kamel, but if they could also, use some player dev, they have good dev there over in Anaheim, and Verbeek's the GM. He's gonna do good work with them. If they can transition him to be more of an inside guy, I think he'll be very solid for them.
Yeah, I think Kamel is like your pure goal scorer, and he can, like he's going to be. I think he can be a guy who could score 40, like at least 30 goals in this league. 40, 50. We're not gonna overstretch that, but like a 30 goal scorer definitely. He reminds me a lot of Prime Hoffman, like a smaller Prime Hoffman, and like Luke said, line. I think it's like a mixture of the two. Because that's yeah, I really do like Kamel, and I think Kamel. I think in our mock, he dropped to what the consensus usually is, but
right.
Kamel is like weird because he can go from like I think some have him at 4 and others have him at like 16. Like that's what I say. Players have like this range. Like some go really high, some go really low. It really depends. Like it's weird.
That's the fun thing about this draft is it really is going to depend on just purely what the team is looking for, what kind of player, because you have your pick. This draft is so high end, and it could be, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying it could be it could be like a 2015 where like everybody's just absolutely disgusting.
Sorry, I'm not organized. I'm just checking something out. There we go. All right. If I'm San Jose here, I got a couple options, but I don't think I want this guy to slip past me because I don't think I'll get another guy with this talent and upside later in the draft or even next year. I got to take Marco Casper. You think about it, you drafted Eklund last year. You get that 1-2 punch with Casper and Eklund.
I do like that pick a lot. Yeah, that was actually, if I had this pick, I was probably going Casper or Lambert. I think, the European winger to go along with Eklund is genius, really. Casper's really good 200 foot. I think he fits a lot with Eklund.
Yeah. Funny story. Marco Casper actually his like import rights got drafted by the Ottawa 67. So if he does come over, he'll be in Ottawa for a bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good scout trip. Go see him. But like Casper, like I researched him. Like I knew who he was, but I didn't really scout him that much until like 10 minutes before we started recording. But I like him. Like you said, 200-foot game. Distribute. He's a good skater. Distributes the puck well. He does need. He's not a long-term runner, but he's gonna need some development for sure. Like. He can definitely develop into a great. I think he's got I'd say a great two-way guy.
I like that. I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you here, James. If Casper made it one more pick, I was definitely taking him with Columbus. I'm kind of salty you just took my pick.
Yeah.
Columbus is in a good spot. Again, can't give Kekalainen enough credit. Obviously already swindled the Blackhawks last year on that Jones trade. It looks even better now. It's really hard because I like everything that they've already done lately, and it's really hard because this group of guys right here, right? Like you don't have like a good left winger, and I don't want to reach in left winger because that's no fun, right? You can transition. I got to be right winger, especially because you have line A. Because you're like, I don't want to draft a guy to just be a second line winger, but I'm going with Urov here. Daniela Urov. James and I made mention. What's up?
I was about to say like that. I would have taken him there too.
Yeah, he's so talented. He could easily be, he could go from, obviously we've already made mention, guys could go from, 4 to whatever. He could easily go from 5 to 15. He's an incredibly talented player. The biggest issue with him right now is the fact that everything going on with Russia. Obviously, there's already a rumor that it might be hard for guys to get back into the States. Putin's having problems with them and blah, blah, blah. We won't get into the political side of it. But Urov is really good. He's really good at like a big criticism with, guys that are coming from European or Russian ice to US ice is their use of larger ice. A lot of guys like to keep it perimeter, keep it outside. And that's one of the criticisms that I might have for a guy later. But Urov is really good at keeping it in tight. He loves to keep it in tight. He loves to, like throw some sand in your face and dangle through you and have a spectacular goal. He's just a very good playmaker, very good hockey IQ, just very smart player.
Yep. That's I think you've nailed it right on the hammer.
I appreciate that. I needed that ego boost.
Next up, we have the the Islanders. My bad.
There you go.
And
God, I don't know what the hell he's doing there, man.
I have no idea. And I'm actually going down.
Where are you headed to, buddy?
The Islanders, I think they take Jimmy Snuggerud here. And I think it's because they need their team's getting older, especially their wings. And I think a younger wing in the system would really help. And Snuggerud, I've scouted him a little bit. He's a good scoring winger, and he can skate well. And that's what they need. And he's fast.
It would be really good to see him develop and pair with Matt Barzal. I genuinely was not prepared for you to make that pick. Yeah, I don't mind that pick though. I don't.
And I would say Snuggerud, his range is literally 10 to 40. Like it's and I just think the Islanders are going to do this. Either they're going to do that or they're going to trade the pick.
See, I was kind of thinking Brad Lambert there, and I know it's a little hard to think that with having Barzal, But
I was thinking Brad Lambert, but I thought wings. They got another young center in there. They need wings. So
that's fair. All right, Winnipeg. Winnipeg could really go a lot of ways here. And I'll tell you why. Because they're rumored to move fucking everybody. Like, there's rumors that they might want to move Scheifele. There's rumors that Dubois is dipping in 2 years. They're trying to offload the Wheeler contract. Schmidt could get moved. The only ones that are staying probably are Connor, Hellebuck, and Ehlers. And it's like,
the farm's for sale.
Fucking it is, man. I would love to get into their head coach signing on top of that, but we'll save that for our later podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm sitting here now. I genuinely didn't even realize that I would have this Winnipeg pick. Oh, this is tough. I want to say they go D-man here. And I want to say they're going to go Denton. I can't say his name, and I apologize.
Denton
Matejchuk. We'll go with that. Yep, that's the one. I like him a lot. He's a really good, shifty left-handy. He reminded me a lot of Quinn Hughes. I think he's a little bit bigger than Quinn Hughes, but he's one of those phenomenal point holders. Like, he's just like, he reminds me of Quinn Hughes, reminds me of Kel McCarr in that sense. And I don't think again, when I compare a guy to Kel McCarr, I'm not saying he's nearly as good as Kel McCarr, because Kel McCarr is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best D-men ever. And that's bold to say, as he's 23. But no, he's like really good at using his edge to create room, to create space, to also, like, a lot of guys with the good edge work, you don't expect how fast they're going to be. Like, I don't know if you saw those, if any of you guys for that matter have seen those clips of Antonio Strange's, when he uses just pure edge work, like he does like kind of like an open circle and just, those guys build up so much momentum and so much speed, and they occupy your eyes and your movement so much that it creates so much space for anybody else around you. And he's really good at that. That's one of my key points, is like he's he's almost like the quarterback on the blue line. I'm not even necessarily saying power play, but he's that quarterback. He'll keep the puck in, he'll keep it moving, he'll keep flow going, and he's really good at that. He's also good in his own end, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I basically Luke said everything I wanted to say. Yeah, I really do like him though. I think he can be a solid piece for the Jets, because the Jets need blue line help. And yeah, if I'm a Canucks fan right here though, I am screaming at my television, take Kevin Korchinski now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even with Lekermaki still on the board, I'm still and I'm the Canucks, and I find the Canucks, Jim Rutherford usually drafts by positional need, not by best player available, even when he was in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to take Kevin Korchinski, and I think that's a really big steal for the Canucks.
I would agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Another offensive D. I'm pretty sure he's the offensive D. I've sent so many Ds, I forgot.
Yeah, no, definitely. I made mention of this before, and I said it was too rich, and I'm still gonna kind of screw over James a little bit here. And the comparison that I most saw to him is Erik Karlsson. And again, that's not saying that he's Erik Karlsson, but when I looked at his stats, and so he has I think it's 4 goals and 61 assists in 67 games. And I was like, holy shit, he doesn't like shooting the puck at all. But that's really not the case. I was like, does he just rip blue line shots low and just it's tips and shit like that? But no, I watched this tape, and he's really good on just he's another guy that he'll start at the blue line, he'll have the puck, and he'll go everywhere. You'll see him behind the net for God knows what reason, and he'll just make the most crisp outlet pass to the center of the ice, and it's just how the hell you even see that? You've got 2 guys there, and you're just it's like puck on a string, just whoop, poof. It's fantastic, and he's really good upside for just an offensive defenseman. I thought he was going to be more of a defensive defenseman, seeing his stats, just being oh, he's an assist man. Maybe he's a vulture on the secondary assist, but he's a fantastic player overall.
Yeah, I watched some of his tape, and I really did like what I saw. I'm actually surprised he went this low, and he was still available at 15.
It's hard with because I think a lot of teams are forward gonna be forward devoted this
Forwards for
draft.
they a lot of teams like need forwards, and I think the teams around like this area need defense. So it kind of maybe adds up.
Exactly. It genuinely like it works. Like I could Buffalo already took a defenseman, but like I could see Dallas going D-man. I could see Mini going D-man. I could see Capitals going D-man. So it's like these teams might actually, we're not doing trades this draft, but I could see these teams kind of moving up for these guys. True.
Right. You're up with Buffalo, their second pick.
Buffalo, we took a D-man the first time, right? We took the Kevin guy.
Pavel.
No, we just took Kevin. Sorry, yeah, we just took Pavel. We took Pavel for them. And really hard here too, but I'm going Brad Lambert. We
right.
just made mention of them not really having. We did take a D-man there, right? I just want to make sure that I'm
so
not
if you
completely
go down
screwing it.
here, yep, Pavel.
Okay. I was really worried that that was Casper, but I remembered that it ended up going later, and I was mad about that. Yeah, I'm going Brad Lambert here. We already made mention that I don't really know that Buffalo has a center. Tage Thompson came into his own this season. Obviously, you can't slouch on that at all. He was a phenomenal player this year, but after that, it's really hard with who their center depth is. I don't actually even. Hell, I could look it up, but I don't really know who else they have for center. You know, we talked about Jack Quinn. You know, he could be a center, but he's probably more equipped to be on the wing. I think he's really hard. Oh, Krebs could play center. They traded for Krebs. He's hard to judge Lambert because he actually did worse from last year to this year, like his D1 to D, which is really hard to do. Actually, especially with increased minutes and power play time. But it happens, you know, guys, they have bad seasons. I think a lot of guys like last year, Alturazzi, he had a bad year before the draft, and he did pretty good this year. So I think Lambert could be a guy that Buffalo could take a swing on, essentially. You know, Buffalo, I've made mention already. I kind of like where Buffalo's going with their rebuild right now, and I think Lambert is a guy that you might want to take a chance on because he could end up being the next good center.
Yeah, I think Lambert just had a down year, and I think it's really good. He's at his fuel, and I think he will bounce back. And he's Brad Lambert. He's good. He's in his own zone. He's good. He's can be really good in the opposing zone. He plays the boards well, I find, when I saw him play anyway. And yeah, like I have nothing but praise for Brad Lambert. Hopefully it's not like he's like. I would hate to see a guy regress at 18. That'd be the worst.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I can't see him getting like he's only gonna get better. Like, all right, Nashville. Now I've noticed Nashville's taking past drafts like very forward heavy.
Yep,
very forward heavy. So I'm gonna go D here, and I'm gonna take Owen Pickering from the Broncos. Owen Pickering is your typical stay-at-home defenseman, but he can provide offense when need be. Like he can be an elite. He's an elite defender, but he can also provide that QB power play thing. Very clean passes. I know it's just a lot, but this dude is an amazing skater. Like I think he might have the best skating of any defenseman, other than maybe Simone Nemec of the defensemen. Sure.
It's an interesting play because I liked a lot of the defensemen. I like the earlier defensemen we already drafted. Like I don't remember whose skating it was.
Or Pavel.
I think it's Pavel. I like his skating a lot. It's interesting that you say he. I truly don't know a lot on Pickering. I won't lie to you. But I think that's pretty fair. Dallas. Ooh. See, now the issue is I don't want to take him because I really want to take a certain defenseman. But Jonathan Lekkemaki should not be on the board right now. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's definitely not an 18th overall player. I'm really actually really torn right now because going into this, the guy that I kind of scouted for Dallas was Seamus Casey. Good right side defenseman, and I'm really fucking torn right now. Oh, it's like if you're Dallas, like what do you do? Like, is where even is Casey?
He's I'm down here. Let's see. Did I pass him?
What do they do to my boy?
That's Cruz. Maybe past him. Casey? I saw.
Seamus Casey.
I
I keep
swear.
looking at Ryan Chelsea, and that's not him.
I swear I
Chesley,
saw
rather.
him. There he is. There he is.
Oh, there he is. All right, 32. Wow, that's pretty low rating for him. But I will go Lekarmaki here. I apologize. I just made you look for him for 14 minutes.
I agree. If he slips to Minnesota in real life, I'd be so bad.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Is also their divisional rivals, right? So I'm like, if you're Dallas, you almost want to do it despite Minnesota, because if Lekarmaki drops there, you just got a replacement for Kevin Fiala for fucking free. Yeah, no, I go Lekarmaki. He's kind of in the same stride as Kamel here. He's one of the better pure goal scorers in this draft.
He quick, dude.
Yeah. He's really a marvel to watch. He's one of the guys that I wanted actually Detroit to pick pretty early on in this draft process, but I thought he was going to be a lot more of a center than he actually is. So that lured me away from him a little bit.
I call him young Stützle because he really reminds me of Tim Stützle, like a lot. And like I think for Dallas already has a stacked pool. Like they
have a really stacked pool, and that's what it was also in between on this. Obviously, they had like 3 guys that just absolutely ruled
Wyatt
the CHL.
Johnson, Logan Stankoven, and there's one more.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it a Johnson?
Yeah, I said Wyatt Johnson, right?
Okay, yeah, you did.
Wyatt Johnson, Logan Stankoven, and there's one more.
Yeah, no, they had great years for their forwards. I just know that
Maverick Bourque.
Yeah, he's the OHL guy. No, they had great years for all their forward prospects, and that's why it's really hard for me. But it's just the fact of like this guy shouldn't be here. He's so elite. You can move a different guy to acquire a D-man because I think their D-core is pretty weak, especially with the prospect of Klingberg not staying. And I want Casey there really bad if Lekarmaki's gone. But if Lekarmaki's there, I think Dallas has to take him.
Yeah, if they don't take him, then Minnesota will snag him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Minnesota. This is the pick they acquired in the Fiala trade. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that until the next episode.
Not yet.
If I'm Minnesota here, I think I want a guy who can not like you need to drive replacement, but like I don't want to be like that, but like you kind of not have to, but you kind of like you want to.
Right.
And I'm going way too far now.
You're deep in this shit. What are you looking for here?
I am gonna go with Isaac Howard.
I respect that.
Yeah, I'm really high on Isaac Howard. I really like the guy, and he's one of my sleepers who could be. I think he could definitely be picked 12. Like that's how high I am on him.
Mm-hmm.
Great skater. Great transitionally. I find like he can really, like in the neutral zone, like he picks off pucks. He gets to the zone where he won't get there, but he has really high IQ, and that's what really gives him the advantage in the neutral zone.
Sorry, we're taking a drink.
Yeah, and dude's going hard, and dude goes hard on the boards every single time.
Absolutely. Oh man, Capitals.
I have a pick in mind here, but I want to see what you do.
It's hard because there's been this recent rumor about Nicholas Backstrom obviously having this big surgery, and it's not a surgery that a lot of people come back from. So I'm very accrued to take a center here. And I'm between Östlund and McGordy. What are you trying to search for? Östlund's at 24. You're fine. It's tough. Because McGordy's not as fast as Östlund. I think Östlund has a higher motor, but it depends on what kind of a player you're looking for, right? I think I'd go Östlund here.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you why. McGordy's a little slower, and he's a lot more of a goal scorer, I think. Östlund, he's gonna kind of be your chaos guy. He's a lot quicker. He's a high hockey IQ. He's looking for passes. He's looking to drive to the net. I think it'll help Ovi if he gets to being even playing with Ovi at that point, right? Depends on his development and stuff like that. McGordy he's a lot more of a goal scorer. He's a good goal scorer too. And he's also pretty slow. And I think they need a guy that can open up the range for Ovi to still do what Ovi does if Backstrom's gone.
Okay. I would have taken McGordy at 20 because I think he really fits with the Capitals.
It's really hard in that, right? Like it's like you lose Backstrom, and that's such a crucial piece, right? And you have Kuznetsov still, and so if Kuznetsov's still there, I think McGordy might end up making more sense. So maybe I end up eating my words in. What are we, 5 days away, right?
Yeah, we're close. We're
Yeah.
close.
We're recording this Saturday night, so 5 days away seems about right. I could eat my words. It could very well be McGordy if he's still there.
Mhm.
And I think James is completely right. I think he could fit their organization and what they do a lot more, but we're going to rock it because I'm already too deep.
I'll be honest, I don't really know much about Noah Osman, so I can't really make a judgment on it.
I watched some film on him today, actually. I did. I'm not going to lie to anybody here. I did a lot of my film watching late. We were supposed to have Zach here. No worries that he's not here, but I had to try to take my ranks on his scouting ability. He's probably going to be here for when the actual draft comes, and you'll hear from him on his expert opinion on a lot of draft guys. He's very smart on it. So I tried to get to everybody.
His big black book of prospects. Like
he's pretty smart on it all.
We make an episode where we show him a mock draft. He just like roasts the shit out of us. He just roasts.
Should have seen us during the football mock draft. We were just like, yep, yep, keep going, keep feeding that. Yeah, yep.
If I'm Pittsburgh right here, I'm gonna draft Malkin's replacement, and I think that guy is Connor Geekie.
I was just gonna say Geekie,
because Geekie, like Malkin, like first of all, Malkin's a shit disturber. Like I'll be honest, 2017 didn't like Malkin, still don't like him. But Malkin's a shit disturber. He's big, he can score. That's all the stuff that Geekie can do. Obviously not at Malkin's level because if he was, he'd be picked a lot higher. But I think you can't let Geekie go below 21.
I'd agree.
And like we said this before we recorded that Geekie's range is like 6 to 24.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's one of the guys that I have as probably one of the better playmakers in the draft. He's also a really good 200-foot guy, but he's just also one of those guys that's just like his stride and his speed is just bad. It's just bad. But he is a shit disturber, and that's exactly what you're looking for.
I mean, all this stuff can be fixed with like development. Like you can fix your stride, you can fix. But yeah, like and I think a lot of teams, especially teams who've taken like big centers that haven't panned out, really are afraid to take like big centers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Ottawa of Logan Brown. That's why any center over like 6'3", I get scared. Like
that's funny.
Once again, you have Anaheim's pick. You're getting all the double picks today.
I really am. I've been banging these away. I'm trying to actually make sure. Damn it! I'm looking for. There's a certain guy. I can't find him in my ranking. Fuck me. Because I want to go D-man here, right? And the issue with Anaheim at this pick is Anaheim's another prime candidate to have moved up for one of those left-hand D.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you have Drysdale, who you just drafted, who's a right-hand D. I've never been a guy that's like, oh, you have to take a left-hand D if you have a right-hand D. I think that's lucrative. But I think already who did we take with the early Anaheim pick? We took Kamel, right?
Yeah, you took Kamel.
Okay, so this is hard. I think I'm actually gonna go McGordy here.
McGordy, okay. Stealing my
pick. Sorry, I know. I actually did think of that. I actually, for a second, I actually thought I had the Blues, so I was gonna go McGordy there. But I think it also makes a lot of sense to get your 2C, right? As Anaheim, Zegers is your 1C. No fault. But McGordy can come in and be your 2C. You could actually have two really fucking phenomenal scorers in one draft to get Kamel and McGordy and have the, line one if Kamel can get there, line two if McGordy can get there, and that'd be prime case scenario for Anaheim.
Yeah, McGordy, like I like him, but I also don't like him. I've heard there's issues with his character. That's the one thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can score. Like that's what he does.
Absolutely. That is his main trait is he has really good shot. He's really just smart placement. I think is his biggest attribute, not necessarily like his shot is just like some absolute ripper. He's just like he's a shot placement guy.
Yeah. I would laugh if some team got McGordy and Gauthier Cutter and Rudker and Cutter. That's just
all name team. Speaking of all name team, we still have Jagger Furcus here.
Jagger Fur.
All name team
if
all
you
day.
look at Jagger Fur.
Oh my god, yeah, pull it up, dude. It's disgusting. He's an absolute beautician. Just click on. Can you click on the expand?
I don't want to. Wait, it will. I really hope this isn't. Yeah, there we go. Well, I don't think you can see it, but like mine, yeah. There's no picture of him. But yeah,
he's an absolute beautician.
No, he's got his hair is nice. Like,
he's one of the most beautiful redheaded players I've ever seen in my life.
St. Louis. I had a pick. Now I got to rethink my pick. If I am St. Louis, I'm gonna go defense. I'm gonna go Ryan Chaseley.
Okay, cool. I'm good with that.
Thanks. Almost went Ty Nelson because I've seen Ty Nelson play and I really like him. Like I've seen when Ottawa, Ty Nelson plays for North Bay and Ottawa played North Bay in the playoffs, so I saw a lot of Ty Nelson. And in the season, I went to like 2 North Bay games, so I've seen a lot of Ty Nelson. Really like him, but I think Ryan Chaseley is the guy you got to go with here.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about him, so I'm gonna need you to carry this section.
Well, we're gonna just click on this. Oh, it's a picture.
Fuck you.
6 foot. Let's see. There's reports on it. I'm just gonna click on stats. All right. Looks like he's created to the University of Minnesota. He's basically your stay-at-home defenseman. He's locked down. He's not an offensive guy. He's a stay-home, lockdown defenseman. I'm not gonna look for a comparison because we really got time for that. Sorry.
Sorry, we kind of just screwed over that St. Louis pick, but it is. We may have mentioned this before. It's really hard getting this late in the draft and thinking of all this shit, man.
I do want to say, like, people are just shit on it's a weak draft. It's a really good draft for the top 15. After the top 15, it really tapers off. Like, it isn't like, I know, like next year's draft, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Next year's draft is gonna be it's deep. This one though, like the first round's great, and after that, it really tapers off. But yeah. Well, yeah. You got Minnesota.
Minnesota, I'm definitely going Seamus Casey here. You have Matt Dumba, who's expiring pretty soon here. He's at 32.
There we go.
Yeah, you have Matt Dumba, who's about to expire. He looks like a good D-man that you could probably pair with Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon obviously is a little bit more defensive orientated, so that opens up the reins for Casey to be a little more offensive orientated. He's a guy that I mentioned before we started recording this that I really actually like. I like how he controls the offensive zone. He's really good on like anticipating like 2 steps ahead. You hear some guys that are just like their hockey IQ is just like really good, and he's actually sneaky good at that. It's like you'll see a puck in the corner, right? And you'll see strong side D-man, he goes to grab that puck, right? And he's ringing around the boards to go to that left winger there. And Casey's already anticipating that's coming, and he's pinching in already to steal that puck and to get another opportunity going already. So I think if you're, hypothetically losing Dumba soon, Casey, he's still a little bit away. He's probably 2 or 3 years away, but he could be a good replacement.
Yeah. All right. Toronto. And I think you're gonna really think I'm crazy. Tyler Brennan.
You're taking a goaltender?
Yeah, I think the Leafs. Could use Tyler Brennan. Will develop into a above average starter. I know the Leafs have Shalgren, but the Leafs' current goal, like Ian Scott, was this great goalie. He's really tapered off. I still don't trust Shalgren. I think you need to draft a goalie in the first round to develop and get, because Toronto needs a starter now. Not now, like now they need it, but like in the future they're really gonna need it because Shalgren won't be really there. It seems like a reach, but it might not be in the situation.
That's fair. I don't hate it.
They also have Wall. I just realized they also have Wall.
He's not gonna be much. Sorry guys, but he's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Come at me, like really.
That's fair. I respect it because obviously they've mentioned that they might lose Campbell. They're probably going to lose Campbell, and yeah, they also want to trade Mrazek.
So you're next year. If you don't get anything for agency, it will be what Shalgren and Wall. And I'm sorry, that's probably the 30th best tandem in the NHL.
Yeah.
No offense to Shalgren and Wall. Like they're great players, but like as a tandem, not so great.
No, definitely not. Montreal's here. Is it that big of a dick move to say Jack Hughes?
It's not, and I was
I don't necessarily. Hold on, just wait for a second.
I'm waiting.
I like Philip Messer here too. You're gonna have to filter to all players because I think you accidentally clicked center.
My bad.
No worries. I like Philip Messer here. I think he's good. It seems like it's like such a dick move to not take Jack Hughes here having Kent Hughes, but I'm gonna go Messer. He's a good player.
If I was here, I would definitely take Jack Hughes because I think it's kind of like how we're taking Colton Smith second round. Like it's
it's hard, right? It's like you don't want to like be
but like. But Mazur's actually I like Mazur here as a value pick.
Right, I think he has a lot more upside. He did pretty good in Slovak, and damn, if this is not Slovak's year, goddamn, dude, they're doing good with their.
Yo, Chara retires, and the Slovaks just come in like.
No, dude, the fucking Slovaks, they're putting out right now. No, Messer, he's really good. He's really good playmaker. I like his work ethic a lot too. He's not the greatest in his own end, but that's completely fine. Comparisons. This website I have up right now, it says Saku Koivu, which is a pretty tough comparison as well. Obviously, again, not saying that's his skill level, but he's just like he's a good playmaker. He has slick moves, right? Like he's not like making just pass, but he'll like make a finesse play, draw a guy over, and be like, oh, another guy's gonna bite on that too, and then he'll make the outlet pass, and you're completely fine after that. So I like Messer there.
Okay. That's fair. I think here I'm Arizona now, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's Arizona. There's a lot. There's a lot we can do here. Because I have another pick, literally 5 picks later.
I think I take that one, though.
I think I'm going to take Liam Algren.
Fair enough.
Best player available right now, and I think that's what Arizona's going to do. And then you can draft your defenseman or other at 32. Algren, don't have much information on him as well. I'm really sorry. We're not prepared.
We are not the most prepared dudes. It's really hard this late in the draft, truly. It just is. Okay then. Buffalo.
Again.
Yeah, back to it. How about that?
So they got Pavel. They got who they get?
They take a forward there, right?
Lambert.
Yeah, take Brad Lambert. Well, I'm gonna take a right D man now, and I'm gonna take I just want to make sure he's a right D man.
I'm gonna like just
99. Fuck, he's not a right D man.
Oh, I can check right here. I got it right there. Like
I wanted to take Bishel. What's Ty Nelson? He's a right defense.
Ty Nelson is right.
Yeah, Ty Nelson. Let's go.
Ty Nelson is he's very crafty when he's a crafty skater, crafty play. He will undress forwards. Like if you try and go up on Ty Nelson, he will embarrass you. Like he lets the play come to him. He's very patient with the puck. And he's a power play quarterback. So he's got hands, he's got vision, he's got IQ. He's a very smart player, and I think that's a really good play for Buffalo right there.
I appreciate the props. I needed that. He's like you said, he's probably going to be your power play quarterback if you can get to that level, right? Like he's got a booming shot from the point. He's a good player. I hope the best for him. And on to Edmonton.
All right, first of all, Edmonton's trading this pick to Ottawa. No, if Edmonton's here, Edmonton does have a good pool. I will give them that. They have I'll give it. It's decent.
Yeah, don't pump their brakes too much.
I think if I'm Edmonton, I'm taking Jagger Frickus.
Jagger Frickus. Yes.
I don't know. Local kid. It seems like an Edmonton pick.
That's fair. I like that pick. I
Yeah.
like that pick.
Mhm.
Um,
The Jets
that's a little bit
again.
hard. That's again. Remind me who I took with the Jets earlier.
Like Medichuk, I think. Let's see. Yeah.
It did. Okay, perfect. That opens the ranks for me to take this Russian player that I still cannot pronounce his name.
Ivan Miroshchenko.
Yep, that's the one.
That's what I was gonna take at 31.
No, Miroshchenko's really good. He's if you don't know, he has what is it, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
So he's already noted to miss the whole season of 22-23, which really sucks for him. But he's a very, very, very good player. I don't know that I'm pretty sure he stayed just strictly VHL this year. Yeah, but he's a good goal scorer. He's a really good skater, soft hands,
Wicked shot. Like
wicked shot. He's really good. Like he's just like has a nose for the net type of guy. Like he was just like, how would I? There's like a NHL X factor that's I can't describe it right now, but Schneip. He's got Schneip.
Schneip,
That's
yeah.
what I would say. He's got Schneip. No, he's a good player. He's got a nose for the net. Not exactly the best in his own end, but that's fine. That's not what you're looking for in a guy like that. You're looking for that offensive drive, offensive playmaker, and I think that's exactly what he is.
I don't need this pick. Like, Lightning don't
Literally,
need
bro. Tampa, go away.
I'm gonna take Owen Beck here.
Okay.
The pool's been emptied because you traded the pool away, so might as well reload. Owen Beck's a good he plays for Mississauga. Owen Beck is a little bit of a reach here, but it could turn out to be a really good reach here. You know, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, Beck skates well. Beck also really does have vision like Ty Nelson. He's not as smart as Nelson, but he will he can drive the play very well. Goes to the net, will attack, crash the boards. Yeah, I think and I'm sorry, Tampa loves to take players that only have four letters in their last name. That's like their thing. So I'm gonna just Duke.
Reed Duke?
Duke Foot. Oh, Foot is 5. Well, it's a short last name, so
I'll accept that because I give you Braden Point, but I was really fucking confused for a second.
We'll go 5 or less. Yeah, so Foot, Point, Duke. There's one more, but I'm thinking of what's his name. Who cares? And yeah, I don't see Tampa making this pick. I think they trade down with somebody.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, I think for Tampa, you probably want to start looking to build the pool a little bit. That's not to say Tampa's going away anytime.
Yeah, Tampa's not
soon,
going away
right?
anytime soon, but like at least have the pool like not full, like at least when you do end up coming down, like have it at least like semi-stocked.
Yeah,
like,
kind of have like a cushion, right? Like have someone there. All right, final pick in the first round, Coyotes. I'm going Bichel. He's a lot more of a is that Leon Bichel? Is that how I say his name right?
Wait, sorry?
28. Yeah, that guy.
Bichel. I don't know.
Bichel, whatever. He's European, so it could be whatever.
Yeah.
He's a lot. What's
I
up?
was going to say one thing. You don't want to pick the mix of Quidden, Byfield, Philip Dean, and Jasper Wallstead.
I was looking at that name actually a few times and thinking, what the fuck is going on there? I don't know anything about him. I'll keep it $1.50. So maybe he's sick and I'm just missing it and I'm trying to roast his name.
So I had to say that. It was too good.
No, you're right. Leon Bichel, though, he's a lot more of a stay-at-home defenseman. Obviously, they've already taken Cooley, and I think they took another forward at 27, if I already didn't forget it. He's what you need, especially if you're looking to trade. Yeah, you took the left winger, right?
Yeah, and then you took Cooley up here. So yeah, that's a good draft by Arizona.
Yeah, that would be a good draft. That'd be a great first round to walk away with. I wouldn't be shocked also to see Arizona move around with their picks. I think they need to add to the prospect pool more. So I think they might want to move back from maybe their 27 pick. It wouldn't be shocking to me at all. And yeah, no, I think he's going to be a lot more of a stay-at-home defenseman. I don't think he's super offensive, but he does have some offensive touch to his game. And I think that's exactly what you need if you're going to be moving Chychrun, which I actually really don't genuinely think is going to happen. again, it's also hard to say if you're moving Chikrin when it's 2022 and a lot of these guys aren't going to come into the NHL until 2025 at least.
Yeah, but there's been rumors now, like it's been reported that Chikrin's like went to Brandon was like, bro, it's like, bro, like I don't want to be here for this rebuild.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't fucking blame him.
Personally, if you're under like 26 saying, bro, I don't want to rebuild, too bad. Like,
I think it's a little tough because it's like if you're the guy that's supposed to be leading the rebuild and you get to a little bit of a higher point and then they just say, fuck it, rebuild, that's what sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel for Chikrin is because Arizona has made the playoffs recently.
Arizona made the play-ins though.
Play-ins.
Yeah. I mean, Arizona has made like the I think the play-ins are not playoffs. Play-ins.
No, they don't really count, but they did have some life to them, right? Yeah. You know, like they had days where they were better, and then this year it was just like the craziest drop I'd ever seen from a team. No, like, I genuinely thought they were going to surpass Montreal.
We knew Arizona was going to be really bad though. Like they sold.
Yeah, we did, but it was like, how crazy did they just drop? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, hey, looking at this mock right now, if this is like you do this, what would you change?
It's hard, honestly, because a lot of these picks are like
they make sense. Like
they make sense. It almost like I think of a lot of things as like a marriage. Like it's like player, it's a team, and it's like what makes sense for that team. What I think some of the later picks might be a little bit dicey just because we don't really know them. I think maybe Dallas goes different. I think Lekkerimäki is a prime candidate if he's still there to end up in Minnesota because I think Dallas should be looking for a D-man there.
I feel like if Lekkerimäki is available at like 17, I think someone will trade up to get him.
Yeah, I also at the same rate wouldn't be shocked to see Nashville take Lekkerimäki because there's also rumors that they might not be able to keep Philip Forsberg.
Yeah, that's true. I did think of that, but I thought, defensively, Nashville has like their defensive prospects. They don't really. I don't think they have one.
I mean, they have. I mean, in the NHL, yeah, no, notable defensive prospects. They don't have anything, but obviously they have Yossi already there, Fabro, and
yeah. So you're good on defense, but like you always want like if you ask someone like, oh, who's your best like this prospect, you want to like know it like that. You go to actually who's your best defensive prospect? Oh,
yeah, true. You make a good point. You make a good point.
Yeah. I think Geeky going at 21 is a little low.
Yeah, Geeky is definitely a guy that could go a lot higher.
But yeah, I think these two really fell. And if we get this right, if we get this thing right, like not 100%, but if we get like 90% of this right, I'm calling us the Wizards. We should. Yeah,
you're key. You got to keep this whole thing, and we're gonna see how much we get right, and we'll find out on draft day. I'll try to, James, as long as you post this. Hopefully, you'll probably have it done by tomorrow. Yeah, I can't give you shit anymore.
I'll post it up, but yeah, no, it'll be funny. We'll just get 100% wrong on draft.
We probably will, knowing us. I'm gonna try to write down all the picks so we can have short notice. Who we had at certain picks and see how we do.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the top four. That's where I think that's set in stone.
Top four seems pretty fair to me. After that.
5, that's a wild card. 5 and 6 are wild card picks, so I have no idea. Same with 7. Same with Ottawa.
After that, it's just like it's who's there, right? It's like you're hoping, you're praying.
Yeah, like, and I said the players who I thought could be at the spot as well. What do you think about 8? Who would you think could be in the spot as well?
It's hard because I think Detroit's looking to get their next center. I think if you pick, top 3, if you were really lucky as Detroit, you'd love Logan Cooley or you'd love Shane Wright. But I think they're looking for their number 2C. If Nazar was there, Nazar is definitely a candidate because he's also a center right winger.
He's also a local kid as well.
Exactly. Nazar's super local. Literally, I live like 6 minutes away from him. If Nazar's prime candidate, Savoie. I've made mention of Casper. I've made mention of Lekkerimäki. All these guys have had time at center or play center primarily, so I think all these guys are very good options. Also, if they want to go with a Yurov, I'm really not opposed to that. He has very high upside. I think he could be a top 5 player in this draft one day. And if he's going at 12, that's a really good pick for Columbus, especially. And if he's going at 8, I think that could be a great pick for Detroit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to ask you this one thing before we, because we already talked prospects, but who of the teams that are like not in a good spot right now, who really, really, really needs to stack the cupboard for prospects. And I'll just go further. I'll say one. I think it's either the most important. It's either Philadelphia or it's Montreal.
Okay. I'm actually on the absolute opposite spectrum.
Okay.
And I think it's either Seattle or the Yotes.
That's fair. Yeah. Because
It's
Seattle
tough
has
sorry.
what, 4 they have 10 prospects total.
Yeah, they literally have nothing, and it's really hard with Seattle too because they're like, we're gonna be aggressive in the offseason. It's like, fucking why?
With
Just
what
take a
asset?
second. Yeah, it's fine. Like, you don't have to be active in free agency. It clearly didn't work with Grubauer. You can just take a second. And again, Arizona, it sucks when you forfeit your pick the other year. Obviously, they got who'd they get at 9? Gunther?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, Gunther ripped my heart out.
Yeah, so that helps them a little bit, but after that, you have pick 3, which is awesome. You can get Cooley there. That's fantastic. But after that, if you wait until 27, that also kind of sucks. Either way, with how we drafted for Arizona, I think we did really good. But I think they're also a team that could look to move back to get more guys, or they could look to move up to get more high caliber guys, or they could just stay where they are and get this whatever caliber guys. Welcome to the draft. I know nothing.
I'm just gonna say picks that could be traded. I think 7 is up for grabs, but I think it's most likely stays. But there's been a lot of shit ton of rumors. New Jersey, I think they stay put, unless someone just blows them away. Buffalo, I think they move one of their picks. I could definitely see Winnipeg moving up or down. Minnesota might trade one of their picks for a low cost impact player. And yeah, that's really all that is it. Montreal, I think Montreal stays put. Montreal really has to stack the cupboard, in my opinion. They have Gooley and
maybe
Misak. Misak.
Yeah. They don't have much. You're actually pretty right on. I don't want to say you're actually pretty right. You're obviously just right on Montreal. They do need to stack the cupboard. You're completely right on that. They had a complete fluke of a year to the Cup Finals, and that probably just fucked them. Obviously, they just finished last, so it did fuck them.
Habs probably work. I remember 2017 we were so hyped. I mean, it became second last the next year. Little Cup final and come to I'm just I would just I'm done.
Brutal. At least you got the first overall pick. I'll give you that part.
Yeah, which we because
my first overall pick?
Fuck Gary, they fair, Brad.
God damn it!
Dad doesn't like us. No, because when Ottawa came in last credit, it was Colorado's pick. But we still got 4th. And I had a call like, yeah, you gave up Cale Makar, man. That's the wrong draft. If we gave up Cale Makar, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
Who'd you guys technically give up then? Byram, right?
Byram, yeah. And I think it's fair to say that Ottawa came. I would prefer Kachuk over Byram. Byram's great. I don't want to diss him in any way.
Byram was really good in the playoffs. And yeah, I would still take Kachuk.
But yeah. And Detroit, we all know Detroit. Detroit's the reason the rules got changed.
Which is so fucked up. Pisses me off, man.
That's the mock. I will post this. I'll save this in my tabs and I'll post it probably tomorrow. I might post on the Instagram page as well.
Sounds good.
But yeah, we can't wait for the draft. I wish we had Zach here to give us more insight because he knows.
He knows a lot deeper. He probably knows about guys that are going to go in the 3rd round. So yeah,
the man is just like a young Bob McKenzie. It's
he's good at it. He's like the guy that's it's his craft and he's proud of it.
Like in the NFL, he's Mel Kiper. Yeah. But other than that, we can't wait for the draft. It's gonna be so entertaining, so much fun.
Yes,
we'll be live probably on Twitch because YouTube. I know YouTube's getting a shit ton of draft coverage from other pages. We're gonna go on the Twitch. I'm probably gonna make a LeBlockcast Twitch, but as of right now, it's gonna be on my Twitch page, LeBlock Means Official, until I say further notice. So LeBlanc_James_official at twitch.tv.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and we'll hope to see you there. And
hopefully we'll see you there. We'll have some probably pretty good reactions. I think we'll both be pretty fucking loud when James team evidently takes Connor Geeky, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're gonna have 6 people on the draft team. We're gonna have a Flyers fan, 2 Wings fans, and 3 Sens fans. So we're gonna have a lot of coverage early. I wish Jack, unfortunately, our Habs fan couldn't make it for the draft this year. Which I want to, because they take Slavkovsky for us overall. I want to see his reaction. Right. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up there. And thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you, everybody. And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.